Hi, everyone. Welcome to One Tourism World, a convergence point and the global hub for pioneers, entrepreneurs, and visionaries from the global tourism and hospitality sectors. We bring to you an exciting platform here on the One Business World platform, featuring distinguished leaders ready to share their groundbreaking ideas on cutting-edge topics that are revolutionizing the industry. Our experts come from a diverse field, including luxury hospitality, ecotourism, digital transformation, and more, and they're all set to unravel the latest industry developments. One Tourism World is a vibrant community that encourages collaboration and open dialogue to catalyze positive change within the tourism and hospitality sectors. Join us now on this journey of discovery, innovation, and growth. Let's shape the future together here at One Tourism World. Happy to introduce here and welcome to the platform two gentlemen, both, as luck would have it, in Monaco today. We've got Bertrand Petit going to be co-hosting here with me, and we have Roberto Giorgi also from Monaco. He is the honorary chairman of Frasier Yachts and the former chairman and CEO of these ships. Gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to the platform. Look forward to the conversation.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome, Roberto. And yes, we're very, very honored today to welcome as a guest Roberto Giorgi. And I've known Roberto for a while. Roberto was actually my boss at V-Ships, worked together at V-Ships for a few years. And as you rightfully mentioned, he was the big boss over there until he went into and I'm sure he'll tell us about this whole story, until he went to the yachting industry with Frasier Yachts, based here in Monaco. We're very honored to have Roberto. Roberto, for me, is the perfect example of a great leader, of someone who has a vision, who has the ability also to lead people, to bring people to the best of their ability. And this is certainly an example that I try to follow on a daily basis. I wanted to have Roberto in our webinar because, again, I think he can bring a lot of insights, a lot of ideas, a lot of creativity, a lot of vision to the young generation. So, Roberto, thank you very much for being our guest today. And if you could maybe introduce yourself. You have an amazing career, and I'm sure you have a lot of stories. So we'll be very happy to share those stories today with our audience. Welcome, Roberto. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Bertrand, for this startup. For me, it's been many years ago, a long time, when I'm coming from Genoa, so from a city in the Ligurian coast with a quite large port. So normally the Genovese, they are either navigator or trader. So what I did when I was so young, I decided to go at sea, so to go to nautical school, and I start my career at sea. I consider myself a man of the ocean, because from my early stage, when I was 16 until I retire, I've been all the time in a business, international business related to the shipping and the yachting and cruising. I was fortunate enough to meet incredible people during my 40 years in the ships, different nationality. We had at that moment 70 offices around the world with more than probably 50 nationality, and that gave me the possibility to understand the culture, the dreams, the future of a lot of young guys that today are really running company around the world. Ship management, V-Ships, for the people that doesn't know, has been one of the largest ship management business. Ship management means that normally the company doesn't own any vessel, but is doing all the operation like a ship owner. So we have been probably running about 1,000 ships around the world between crewing and technical management. And from cargo and tanker vessels, we started really to operate cruise vessels, and we were the startup of Silver Sea Cruises, Radisson 7 Sea Cruises, the Swan Hellenic with Minerva in '96. So it's been an incredible journey where we need really to, because of when you run a cruise vessel, you have a cargo that speak and has a complaint. It's not like a cargo of a coal or trade or oil. So you need to make sure that your cargo is happy. And then you have to customize really the product. Doesn't matter if you have German passengers or you have American, or from the luxury and the budget. And in fact, we were running also easy cruises. That probably has been some people knows about the past history of the easy cruise. I've been, as I mentioned to you, lucky to have a quite a large team of people that in the early stage helped me to develop the company. And I believe that the reason of our success has been mainly due to the teamwork. And from just a part shipping, that was my initial love and my passion. We started to develop also the yachting side, because we decided that cruising vessel became smaller and very luxury, and yachts went from being the 24 meters large as it became bigger and bigger. So there was a lot of synergy between the super yacht and the luxury cruise business. So we enter in the yachting world in 2004, and buying a participation in the Frasier yacht together with a yard, Asmo Benetti, and we developed the company until today. That is probably one of the largest vessels. So during this period of my life, apart having this connotation of shipping, and I've been also lucky to be the president of an association that take care about the Maritime Museum of Genoa, and that again very close to my main business, that was shipping. The reason why I really enjoy to be in association of the museum, because normally people that go to the museum are mainly students, and this is the way to make sure that you progress with your work of showing exactly what is the history of shipping to the young people that go students that go to the nautical school, or they're going to the university. And recently, because naturally I believe strongly on all the various objectives of ESG and about environmental, the social, the governance of companies, I've been also involved with a Norwegian company to establish, to expand more this digital platform that invite young people to think about projects that tomorrow can be essential for our environment or for how to protect our ocean. So that is in a short, in a very small preamble, what I did in my life, and naturally the reason why probably I've been able to exceed my expectation is because I always dream, always that the horizon were bigger and longer and higher. So I achieved what I was looking for, and probably more than what I thought.
Yeah, well, it's very, very good. Roberto, you did mention, especially well at V-Ships meeting amazing people. Tell us a little bit about, and I know you're one of the great mentors, so you probably don't realize it, but you're an amazing mentor for people. Tell us a little bit about some of the mentors you may have had and what they brought to you, and why you think mentorship is so important.
But like in the early stage, you start to have a mentor. Normally, what we call mentor. Normally, your mentor are always the family, your father, your grandfather, your mother, your brother, depends. But it's great when you go outside your family. Then you start to have a mentorship in your education, school or university, and then probably during the career. So behind any successful story, there are always a number of mentors that came during your life. And there is a different stage. You never know if it's a mentor about values, or it's a mentor about a sort of guys that inspire you for other reason apart your job, but about how he's thinking, how he's acting, how he's dressing, how he's speaking. So I had a number of mentors. And one special mentor was a guy that I met when I was 14. And then, strange enough, this man that was a captain of a vessel that was going to Africa. And every time he was coming back to his own place that was in the countryside in Italy, there was in the village, there were people that were waiting for him because they want to see his story. And he has this Super 8 showing to everybody when he was arriving in whatever ports, incredible ports in Africa, and the times that he spent there. And everybody were so excited about this man. And this man, then I found, after my nautical school, I went on board. I was a navigator as a deck officer and became my captain. And I was with my captain when we had a major problem with the first guy in 1977 in Indonesia. This man was spectacular in the way he was managing the situation that could have been a tragedy, but became instead a great success story. He was like a sort of Humphrey Bogart, speaking 7 languages, and be able to give it in any language a sort of message of passion and love. And so that guy, he was my captain because I was second officer, I was the captain. And strange enough, then I became the CEO of big ships. So we have 1,000 ships, we have 2,000 captain, and became one of my captains. So 3 different periods of my life where this guy always gave me something. Could be I was talking to people, I was be able to go through moment of very, very difficult, almost tragic, in a proper way. So I believe that without a mentor, probably the life will be a little bit less spicy. You need a mentor in your life, and you'll remember forever.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think mentors bring so much wealth of information, wealth of knowledge. And I've had myself.
I mean, again, to be mentor, to be mentor also is something that, in fact, if you think it's simple, not because normally if you want to become a leader, you need a number one to make sure that you are committed to the business, make sure that you manage by example. And normally, if you have a success, is the success of your team, of your people. If you have a problem, it's because you are responsible. So you cannot hide your face. You need to be in front when there are problems and when there is a tragedy. Because as I mentioned to you, luckily in our long time in the ships, running so many ships, if you remember, we have been lucky to have no major issue, but when we had some issue, we came back resolving the problem, and in fact came out to quite a winner.
Yeah, no, true. Actually, you bring a good question, in terms, and you've done exceedingly well in a very tough industry. Shipping industry is very tough. And what values guided you throughout your career? What would you advise people that want to have a career in the shipping industry in terms of value system, in terms of what they should believe in or behavior?
Yeah, it's again, probably is the same concept, but you are in an international arena. You are practically talking to crews that is coming from India, but come from Russia or to Ukraine or to Poland. There is a very large nationality. So one thing that is working all the time is respect of people. Respect, and this is fundamental, I believe, for any type of industry. I thought that for me was important to make sure that culturally I could close to them, to their thinking, and making sure also that because remember, seafarers are far away from home. The family normally is away. You try always to, in any situation, to make sure that you are very close to the family when there are problems. And this they are probably this is a type of approach that has no money to pay, because if you are close to the family of the seafarers when there are problems on board or in a certain situation, I think this is going to be appreciated. And normally it's not appreciated by one individual. In a village in India, in Bangladesh, in Philippines, is a question of 500, 600, 1,000 families that are living in the village. So I believe that you have to adapt probably in our business as a shipping, you have really to be very international in way of thinking. And the other point that I always thought that it was good to make sure that in a successful story, you are not only able to be close to your team, but to be also for them to be participating to the profit of the company. So I've been always happy that there were more manager and employee shareholder of the company. That I think is an issue of, that is important if you want to retain the good personnel. And the other point, it's if you want to create a new leader, new manager, new people that can grow up, you need really to start to take care about them as their future career. So that is the reason why we organize, if you remember, we organized to have a talent pool. And the talent pool then were people that were 100% protected, and making sure that we gave the maximum tools to train them and to develop their career. Yeah. It's also good to, in our company, was and I think also in other industry, it's not to have a blaming culture. It's good to have a compliance culture, but you don't need to be blaming people for things that are not doing well. And this is the art, I think, of delegation. To delegate authority and responsibility to the future guys. And at the same time, you have to help to make sure that they go in the right direction and they stop before they go against the wall. These are all various. I mean, I try to be very, very short and what how I explain how I believe that is the right way to be a leader in a company. And the other point, as you know, I mean, it's good to become leader, not because you are number one for financially or because of the number of vessels or the number of people. You need to be considered a leader if the industry believe you are a leader. So you have to be courageous and brave to run campaigns that are important. You have to speak out. You cannot be say under the
radar.
Yeah, no, you need to be out and show your face and make sure that you tell your vision and where you want to go.
Your story. Yeah. And you've certainly, Roberto, you've been at the head of two leading companies in their respective business. I mean, V-Ships being probably the largest ship management company, and Frasier Yachts today also a leader in the yachting industry. Tell us a little bit, we've talked about this a few days ago together with Glenn as well when we prepared the recording, but tell us also about the importance of decision-making. Tell us about some of the critical decisions that you've made in your life, or it could be in your private life or your professional life, but that have had an impact on who you are today. And I think the discussion we had was fantastic, and that's what I'm trying to reproduce here in terms of not being afraid to making decisions, you know?
Yeah.
A bit about decision-making.
Yeah, you know, again, it's, I remember the one of the points that is very important to make a decision. You cannot really not decide it. You cannot stop. I mean, you have to, I'm not saying courageous, you have to feel when it's necessary to make a decision. And it's very difficult also to assess if you make the right decision. You can assess only when you arrive to my age, looking backwards. And then you say, all right, here we are. How many times I have to make a decision that make my life change?
Yeah.
And the life of my family, about my people around me. So only after this long experience, this long journey, you can say, yes, probably I did everything right. But you never know, because when you change your journey, you go from left to right, you never know what happens if in case you are going on the other side. Mm-hmm. I always said to the people that they should a lot of times, reasoning is good, be disciplined on being planning and systematic, but it's also good to follow your gut. your gut feeling. And sometimes you are helped by people close to you. In my case, for example, my wife was always a great supporter, but also in inspiration to me to do it, especially in the beginning of my career. So I saw that all the people that have been able to take important decision, difficult decision, they made really well. So not only, but you can also arrive to the end of your life and say, right, could be I didn't want to have a comfort zone. I never live in a comfort zone. And the reason this today I'm successful is because I took that decision to do it differently. It's different, especially in Italy. Remember, in Italy, there is a situation sometimes people like to stay with the family, be close to the family.
Yeah.
For me, because I married also in Australia, probably, and because I was a navigator, I've been able always not to think about to stay in one place. Yeah. So if I saw the opportunity, I feel the opportunity was the right opportunity. In my gut feeling, I did.
Yeah. Oh,
so
wow.
No comfort zone.
Yeah, no, that's a great lesson. I wanted to add something. If I go back to the value, we talked about values before, and the ones you've described are fantastic. But if I may bring to something to the audience is, and from my personal interaction with Roberto, also the value of being approachable. Whenever, I mean, Roberto is obviously at the head of, leading companies today, and many people that are in this position tend to then be disconnected with, regular people that we are. But something that I appreciate about Roberto is whenever if we cross paths in the Principality in Monaco, he always has a smile that you see, and he always greets you. And whoever you are, I think Roberto is an extremely approachable, extremely personable person. And I think that's a value that also plays greatly in our business.
Yeah, it's one of the things I forgot to mention, that being positive and being optimistic help you to have a lot of friends. No doubt that it's more difficult for be close to people sometimes if they are always upset or they are always looking the glass half empty. I believe that motivation I think the person that needs to be motivated has to find somebody that is also optimistic and positive about his vision going forward. So in effect, I know quite a number of people, strange enough, some of my friends that I consider equal, like the same character of mine, are people with whom I can really have a fantastic time, whatever I'm doing, because they are looking also in a positive way. In the same time, it's good also to be close to people that unfortunately for their DNA or because of their story, they sometimes have to go through different difficult moments. And that is the moment where probably you have to help with some carica, no? A charge of impetuosa, a strong approach. I believe also that you should not, you should be able to speak to anybody, to a prince or to the valet parking driver. There's no difference between from the human point of view. And there are sometimes the stories that the people you meet in the street are so interesting. Probably they've been unlucky not to have the opportunity, or probably sometimes also luck is important, opportunity and driving to change their life. So not everybody are lucky to born with the right DNA, positive DNA.
No, but you're right. Being able to interact with people, like you say, whether it's the prince or the person you meet in the street, and you certainly represent that value a lot. So something I didn't know about you, Roberto, which you pointed out recently, is you also write blogs, right? Tell us about that.
But the right blogs, I mean, it's different. But nowadays you have social media, you have Instagram, Facebook, all this stuff that naturally you can send all your message on a daily basis, in fact, every minute. So one of the difficulty I had, because I was traveling, there was a period of time I was traveling 220, 230 days a year to see clients in the office, having so many offices around the world. We had if I remember correctly, 15 managing office plus 35, 40 recruiting office and the logistic office. So I understood that it was impossible for me to reach everybody. And considering also that when I was going to place like Hamburg or Singapore or Shanghai, I want also always to know if there were any vessels that were in that port, because I try to maximize the visit, not only of the office, but also on board the ship, just to see the captain, see the cadet, etc. So we started to do, I did 18 blogs, 18 months, 18 blogs. And it was also a period where we had a sort of challenge to make sure that the culture of the company, of the brand, remained the same, close as a family, less corporate, because the company became bigger and bigger. We have a new private equities that bought the business. There were some organizational issue, some challenge. And so I thought it was good to remind everybody that apart the business, there were values that has to be retained. So I was coming always behind, I was practically putting every month one blog. That was, could say anything about your life. Visiting Moscow, I remember one going to Oman and with my wife and my mother, and we went to see, we had a business with Oman Shipping Corporation, and I took also my wife and my mother, because then we stopped there for the New Year Eve. My mother, she was a 90, I think. And she went on one of the largest mosques in the Arab country. I think it's the second or third. And my mother came back and said, Roberto, I feel the same. I had the same feelings and be in our church in Genoa. Wow. So so she said something that she understood. She had a feeling, being Italian, to say the world is the same, the people are the same, like the Italian or the, and that was great. It was a great message for the people about being human. Oh, wow. All right. And then from that story, naturally, there was a story behind it. Each blog, there was a story behind it. This is the reason why once I thought also to write a book, because each blog means something for me.
Yeah, but amazing messages, and you're right. It's a great way to.
For Glenn, this is for you. This is good for you. It's a good story. I had a lot of anecdotes, but there is one good story. So I did always this blog, and then say probably be happy in the morning, start in the right way. When you look in the mirror, just smiling, and when you arrive in the office, I'm sure that you are smiling in the morning, smiling when you arrive in the office. Everybody would be around you, etc., etc. And I received a message from a lady that she was working in our Cyprus office. She was an assistant, I don't remember if it was purchasing something, but she said, Mr. Giorgi, thank you so much, because my life has changed. Before I was a little bit depressed, etc., but now I start to smile, etc., and I'm engaged. I'm engaged. So she was getting married.
Oh wow! You should send that blog. Copy that.
Unbelievable. She was so happy. So I said, I'm so happy that this blog means something for you. And
wow. Yeah, but this is again, this is a great way to pass a very personal message, throughout the company in ways so great. Wow, you should copy. You should send us that specific blog.
Shipping dating service.
I think it was 2009. I think 2009. Yeah, 2008 or 2009. Definitely.
Yeah, I was at Visit then. Yeah, I was there.
I can show you some of the blog.
Yeah, I would love to actually. To be honest,
we have to find somebody that wants to keep. I have a lot of story behind the blog.
Yeah, send me. I'm very curious. To be honest, I did not know that about you. To be honest.
Anyway, it was fun.
Glenn has been taking it all. He's been taking notes. Glenn.
No, the blog. It's funny, Glenn. But you have to imagine. Before, it was really difficult to be able to. I was communicating. I like to communicate in front of people. So normally I go to the office. I say everybody together, and we are talking about mainly I mean, I was always going to each person to talk to each person, just to say hi, how are you, whatever. And then I was talking about whatever there was the business a little bit, but where we were going, the future, the challenge, etc. So that I really enjoy. I couldn't do it because it was too big, the company, it was too large. So that is the reason why I thought that probably blogging could be another way.
The method, yeah.
You know what makes that interesting too. You're obviously, and you come across clearly as an in-person type of leader, and because that is your foundation, those that know you, certainly across, I think you said 70 offices, 50 nationalities, all of those people get to know Roberto, and then they see you through the blog, and the blog reminds them, in cases where they can't necessarily be present with you at that moment, all of what you're bringing to a value system, a culture system. You talked about mentoring. You know, a good mentor is somebody, and you lived it with your captain from Africa, your Humphrey Bogart captain. He appeared 3 times in your life. How significant is that as a young person, as when you were a second officer, and then eventually when you was part of your V ship?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, you're underscoring that these types of relationships are forever, and that's what's so important.
Forever. Forever because this captain is special guy, Federico Camilla, his name, and now he's passed away. But I remember in Genoa, one day the mayor of Genoa gave me a prize for the nautical school. The guy normally is giving this targa traversa, that is a plate that they give it to a student of a nautical college of Genoa that has made a successful story. And so I was in Genoa with my mother, my aunt, etc., to receive this plate. And then Captain Mia came in. I never thought that it was coming, and he was there. So it was a special moment, because I could really say, listen, this is part of thanks to Captain Mia.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I like the concept, and it's great for anybody listening. How, and Bertrand launched into it, how approachable you are, and whether that's the prince or the valet is a wonderful lesson. When I worked at the New York Stock Exchange, and I was an executive there for an officer for almost 18 years, when Dick Grasso was chairman and CEO, Dick knew everybody's name. Dick stopped to talk to the security force out on the sidewalk first thing in the morning. He always took the time to get to know everybody's story, because that's what makes good culture. That's what keeps the glasses half filled.
It is. I mean, one of the reasons why I mentioned last time to Bertrand that one of the things I enjoy to do now is really to see try to help some young individual to find a way, because sometimes they know, but they need sometimes just few words of giving confidence. And I like to see people that they approach the business, and after 2, 3, 5 years, they are able to be successful. Is a great story. Also because when you are advising, mentoring the young individual, you become again a young.
Yeah.
Because I remember all the, you go back and you see exactly that happened to you, that you are thinking, I'm right, I'm wrong, I should do it, I should not do it, what happened if I do it? So you go through the process and you say, all right, now my experience after 40 years, I can give some idea how to tackle, how to think. So if you're able to, I would say to give a guidance or to give comfort on the process, it's already a big plus for me.
Yeah.
We just
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, we just did our. I've been doing some teaching. We did our mentoring night in New York City. We had 60, 65 students and about 35 mentors. It's life changing. And
it's life-changing.
They hear these stories, and I'm with 2 of the most consummate storytellers I know. And they listen to those career stories, they listen to those personal stories, and they make that connection, and it helps them be a better professional.
Yes. For a period of time, you remember, I don't know if you remember, Bertrand, but I was doing some, I think twice or three times I did a lesson at Marseille for this new MBA.
Yeah.
And I introduced the how you have to customize the product for each market. Okay, so I had the three particular pilot projects that in effect they were more than pilot project because they're really reality. And I remember there was about 12, 14 people, and there were two guys that I followed. One became a top guy of CMA, and another guy was a frigate, and from Navy to be Navy officer, I started in the career also in the commercial vessel. So it was good in one way that they got something from 3 hours lesson.
No, but you have, and this is what I love about teaching also, is you have the possibility to impact people's life, to change people's life. And you're right, Roberto, when you say that it brings a lot to you as well. Teaching is the best way to self-grow, to grow yourself and to be better. So I completely agree. And what better mentor that, someone with the background of Roberto, the background and the values that Roberto carries on.
Anyway, it's very simple anyway, Glenn, because I enjoy.
That's the
reason why.
That's important.
We are talking. There's this podcast. Thank you so much. Fine, but what you see is what I am. So I change. I never prepare anything. I like to talk, and because I believe it. Normally at my age, if you tell what is coming out from your mind is what you really think, is not prepared.
Yeah.
No, that helps you then, as you mentioned, on your decision-making capabilities as well. It makes you, because you've been able to live the experience, and you have a mix of systemic as well as gut feelings, you're able to then take that and using your reasoning, not be afraid to make those decisions, recognizing that you're drawing on all of your vast experience.
No, absolutely. Well, I think, Roberto, we've had an amazing hour together. we could continue for a long time. Stay online. I'd love to go through a few things, offline, but I wanted to thank you on behalf of the audience at One Tourism World, and also Skoll International. Skoll agreed to carry the message, and I think this is an important message for the young Skoll in particular. I wanted to thank you for taking the time, for your inspiring.
Thank you, Bertrand.
And stay online.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Stay in line.
A few end words from Glenn.
Just thank you both. Just a tremendous message. I learn every day, and I'm sure everybody participating in watching this recording is learning every day from two masters at experiences. Great value system, wonderful culture, and thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.